was not the tragedy of Tristan and Isolt, the fair-haired Cornish harper whose hands held steel and string, and Ireland's greatest beauty, born like Helen crossed the water, while the waves approaching bowed before her beauty. Those who've heard the telling know the blind and bitter fates held the cup of love's sweet poison to unconsenting lips, and as plank fell home to timber, and the king beheld his lady, carols rang within the church and seagulls screamed. All the harpers labor on their agonies of passion, unfulfilled and ever claiming, like lodestones to the north, but few will ever mention how the cold winds of the northlands let them lie at last as one, without deceit. When Tristan could no longer bear the sin of guilty conscience, he took ship to far Britannia, half-hearted and bereft. He cast aside his music, cut the strings that brought him joy, and sought solace in the fury of the field. Praise grew up around him like the corn around a boulder, as the Cornishmen did battle with demons in and out. With singing sword and thunder, Tristan vainly fought distraction, though she whispered in the silence of the slain. In the way of noblemen, rewarding noble heroes, fairest Blanchefleur of the Bretons was given for his wife, but Blanchefleur knew no pleasure from her cold and grieving husband, for the marbled face of memory was his bride. In that time the land was beset by Eden's serpents, and the basest of all creatures can bring the highest low. Two poisons coursed within him, and none could be his savior but the healing arts of Ireland and Isolt. Wings of hope departed, traveling north against the tempest, with pleading words entreating for mercy and for grace. If his love no longer moved her, hoist the black into the rigging, but if white brought them together, he would wait. Daylight creeping downward, Tristan's demons massed against him, and the words of his delusions brought hidden love to light, while the woman he had married, but to whom he'd given nothing, sat her cold and jealous vigil by his side. Morning framed the answer, walking lightly o'er the water. Like Christ's own victory banner, it flew toward the shore. It was white as angels' raiments, but when feebly he asked her, fairest Blanchefleur softly told him, "'Tis of night." Who can say which venom took the soul from Tristan's body, and the bells began their tolling as Isolt ran up the strand. The wind grew slow and silent as she wept upon her lover, and in gentleness it took her grief away. Side by side they laid them, with the earth their separation. Even yet they were divided by the morals of the world, but their spirits spiraled upwards, Ireland's briar and Cornwall's rose, and together at the last they lay entwined.